Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine, I am overjoyed to be here with you today to deliver this divine message. For the last 4 hours, I have had this spiritual pull on me. And I've been really busy in different areas of life lately, where I haven't really been letting the other side come through. I'm a clairvoyant, intuitive reader, psychic medium, yeah? I've been doing this for many years. I've been reading tarot for a really long time. I connect with a lot of spirit on the other side. But my life changed drastically here. And I haven't really been open to tarot as much. I've only come back to the channel quite recently. So if you're a first time viewer, please hit subscribe, please hit like, bring your presence in. We are really cracking open this divine portal over here, and there's so much more exciting things to come. And I'm overjoyed to be able to share with you that I received 3 channeled messages that have just been put out on the Her 7D Consciousness channel. Dear Divine Feminine, Dear Divine Masculine, and the Divine Union. They are all out over there, and other content is premiering over there. But here, after closing down that channel, I decided to follow it on with a stronger unification energy, some 7D energy over here, where we really speak about what that channeled message meant using the tarot, so we can see what's coming here. The pull on me was so intense, and I'm not gonna lie, I was really lazy. I was like, no, it's my day off, I'm having a break today, I'm not gonna let all that energy in. And then my passed on loved ones are showing up, my archangels, my ascended masters energy, and my passed on loved ones are going, you've opened the channel again. You are a conduit of energy, my love. We're going to need you to transmit this. It's not going away. And it was just sitting on me. Come on, channel. We've got things to say. People need you. We need this. So I delivered. And I feel amazingly grateful that I did. And I really hope that you are here today and you are receiving me, and that you're ready to deep dive into what appears to be a really beautiful connection. And I want to speak about this as actual union in a relationship. This is marriage for some of you guys. This is finally coming together with the love that you need to move forward with a mission. There's a lot of twin flame journeys, twin flame readers, and burdensome energy about longing for the masculine or longing for the feminine, and this isn't one of those occasions. This is true love, and this is only true love and only possible because now you've found true love in yourself. So whoever's watching this and whoever resonates with this today, I'm connecting with someone who's gone through a really deep soul journey and truly knows who they are. Loads of people always go on about how they love themselves and they're happy and they're whole and they're divine masculine or they're divine feminine. But most of the time, they're wounded masculine, they're wounded feminine. I'm sorry, I'm incredibly obnoxious, incredibly uptight. I see auras, I read energy, I speak to the other side. I'm very switched on, very conscious, as many of us are. But so many people claim to be spiritual, so many people claim to be healed, so many people claim to be light, so many people aren't. Yeah? So it's nice to be able to come here and dive into a collective who have actually done the work, and to receive a message like that. And one of my passed on loved ones came through with that message. And she was so gung-ho. She was like, we want this out, get this out. She's forcing me to get up and get this done. And I'm like, I'm just chilling today. Please let me chill. No, you've got a job to do. Get up and do it. So now we're going to deep dive into the tarot. Please hit like, subscribe, get comfortable as we really receive this divine invitation for love and unity. So the pre-shuffles have revealed to me that the masculine and the feminine have been working side by side for many years. It's beautiful and sad at the same time, because I'm seeing train tracks, and for a window of time in life, these train tracks have been straight. And this train, the masculine train and the feminine train, the tracks have been in the same direction, and you've just been chugging along. So in this instance, many of you know each other. Many of you have seen each other. Many of you could have worked alongside each other in the same workplace, I get, as well. So you're chugging along. But every now and then, their journey veers off to the right. Your journey veers off to the left. And then you loop back round, go in a different direction. I'm getting visions of the subway and Transport for London and the different maps we have underground. Do you know how chaotic some of these maps are? Chinese underground, the different places in the world. Imagine trying to travel the world underground and read different languages, Japanese, Chinese. You don't know where you're going. You never know where you're really going on the twin flame journey. You're just following the path and you're hoping you're getting off at the right stop. And everyone has their own destination. Your destination is yours, and you mapped it out on Journey Planner before you left the house. You know what your objective is and where you're going, so you're following that route, and that person's following their route. But every now and then you're crossing over on the same line. You're sitting next to each other on the same train, passing each other in the middle of the night or day, no awareness of it. Like ships passing in the night. You've missed each other again. And what that says to me, there's only a select few that actually know each other. What that says to me is, no matter where you are across space and time, you could be in China, the other person could be in North America. Wherever you are, there's been windows of time in your day or in your schedule where you've been doing the exact same thing, possibly had the exact same job, did the exact same hobby or activity, went through the exact same trauma or cry. That's the vision I'm being given. The message that's so clear. And it's fascinating because as an empath and clairvoyant, sometimes when you don't manage your energy well enough and you're untrained and unprepared, you mirror other people's energy and you pick up what's going on with them and you assume it's you. And you could crave certain food, want to buy something new, do certain stuff, and it's really someone else in your energetic field. It's the worst experience ever, especially when you're around toxic energies and toxic people. If you live with someone for a really, really long time and they have unhealthy habits or they're a certain kind of way, you're going to pick that up and become that, exude that energy if you're not strong enough, if your aura's not well protected. Some people could exhibit different mental health problems or pick up low vibration because they're around that person's aura, and that rubs off. Like it can be possession sometimes, or energetic manipulation, or leaky auras, all those kind of things, and all those kind of controls, psychic attack. But in this instance, which is fascinating in the twin flame journey, is they're showing me moments of time where you were down and out, crying on your knees, never knowing your divine masculine or feminine. They were somewhere out there on the other side of the world, crying their eyes out the exact same time you were. And the divine's going, that's how it works. That's how he finds his angels. That's how God finds his children. That's how your vibrations unify. That's how you become one. For example, they're giving me the story of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. Like the example where Meghan was outside of the palace at a really, really young age and took a photo out there at a really, really significant time in Harry's life, and then they came together in the future. It's also giving me Priyanka, Priyanka Chopra, and who's married to one of the Jonas brothers, and the story of when that Jonas brother was watching her on TV, or watching her do a performance, and she won something. Before she was an actress, she won something really significant, and he was sitting there watching her win. And the age that he was and the age that she was, completely different. They didn't even know each other like that. But he was watching his wife before he knew that that was his wife. Meghan Markle was standing outside the palace before she became the Duchess. Both children in these instances. So there's moments in life where you've been children, crossing paths, dreaming the same, believing the same, manifesting the same, walking the same streets, walking the same paths. There is so many synchronicities when you come together with your divine other that will leave your jaw on the floor. I see people in photos, in places where their others have been. People with mementos and specific family heirlooms or ornaments that the other person also has. Memories that you share, that they share, even potentially concerts and events that you were both at without knowing. And they're going to be signs of confirmation for you. And what's so beautiful about the twin flame journey, when it really does present itself with truth, is there's this unwavering knowing in your heart chakra that love is real and that God is real, and you have a deeper faith and belief in the divine. Your inner knowing, your faith in the world is way bigger than it could ever be before. For love is the highest frequency of all. So to find the supreme, ultimate loving vibration that you only ever dreamed of, cried for, yearned for, to have it in real form and know that it's that and not for anything else you settled for, is just sublime. Because in both the channeled messages available on her 7D Consciousness channel, the theme was not settling. Not settling for anything that isn't the highest vibration. And it was about choosing loves, or love that was the highest, truest love. I'm going to pull the tarot, but I just want to say this first. And I feel a little bit like that's a bitter, mean, spirited thing to say when I say this. And I'll say it's a little bit obnoxious. But I only say that for everybody else who's going to be offended by this. And if anyone is offended by this, that's because they're in a lower vibrational love and they know it. Because what I really want to say is, a lot of people settle in love. A lot of people are in relationships now, married, kids, families, assets combined, locked in, prenup agreements, and they can't stand the fucker they're with. And they act like they're happy, and they go out and smile every fucking day, and they can't stand that person. They married that person because they needed money. They moved in with that person because they couldn't afford a house on their own. They had kids with that person by accident. It happens all the time. Majority of people on the journey are unconscious, living unconsciously. And there are only a few people, the real divine, that are conscious enough to hodl, to hold on, to wait, to manifest, to pray, to build resilience inside themselves first, instead of diving into something they knew instantly wasn't right. Your relationship has 20 million red flags, and you cycle round through them repeatedly toxically at that. But you're happy to do that. You'd rather do that than be alone, than go within, than learn more about yourself. Whilst this collective saw that red flag on day 1, date 2, or date 3 and said, no, chop, I'm not going to move forward. Many clairvoyants, clairsentient, claircognizant, anyone who has the consciousness and the inner knowing and the confidence will just cut it off immediately. There's no point wasting time in a connection that is not going to evolve. And if I go for this relationship, I'm going to settle. Yeah, I can have sex for the next 4 years with you. That would be lovely. Yeah, we can have a house together. Yeah, we can have kids together. We can get married, but the love isn't there. The love language isn't there. I don't really find you fulfilling. I don't really find you that attractive. You don't stimulate me. You don't motivate me. You're not it. But I went for it. And many of you out there, when you look back at your past relationships, you'll recognize what you settled for. And when you were longing and insecure and craving more in a connection and didn't want to be alone and wanted to get onto the property ladder and just wanted to marry, wanted to settle down, wanted to have kids, so you went for it. But you sacrificed your core self. And this is the saddest thing. Many people, especially at younger ages, they dive in and it's puppy love and it's cute and you overlook the simple little things that happen. Sometimes it's domestic violence, sometimes it's severe abuse, and you swerve it because actually everyone's getting married by 30. Everyone's moving in with their partner by 30. All of my friends are settled down, so I must be. Being clairvoyant, being intuitive, being wise, studying psychology on my part, and being a seer and a sage, I looked at these realities. And then I looked at everyone when they get to their older ages. And I looked at the relationships that really, really survived into the late 80s, 90s, how many people were still together, versus the population that were divorced, depressed, on their own, alone, struggling, after years of being in a relationship. And I never desired to be one of the statistics that would be alone in my old age. I don't want to be 70, 80, 90, old, grumpy, depressive, alone, and so set in my ways that I can't find love, and so begrudged, so jaded by love in the past that I can't even open up to new love. So the beauty of being conscious and woke and really clairvoyant, seeing the future, was let me make all these sacrifices in my life now. I've done this in my career too. Instead of me diving in to a specific discipline and building a narrow business model that I would have to work in until retirement age, I said no. Let me go through the struggle now so I can retire at a younger age and be incredibly rich and wealthy, abundant, and live freely when I'm older. And retire, if I'm well enough and smart enough and wise enough, retire by the time I'm 48. That would be an incredible win for me. So for a long time I've been manifesting the ability to retire by the age of 48. And I've also been manifesting that I can go through the lonelier parts of aging now, in my 30s, learn the difficulties of relationships now, be jaded and conflicted now. So when I am older, 60, 70, 80, I can be in a beautiful relationship that lasts me for the rest of my life. And die beside my other in divine union. because some of us are really incredibly hermetic, hermits, and we go within. And it's not about instant gratification when you are a sage or a seer and you see the long term. If you really do see and you see your future, you want to build something that lasts forever. And you're willing to make sacrifices now for the long term. And that's the collective I'm connecting with today. The sacrifices you made early on in your life. The things that you let go of. The enjoyment that you passed by. The holidays that you chose not to take. The financial routes and struggles that you decided to take on earlier than later. Because everybody's destined to go through some of these cycles at some window of time in their life. So why not do it sooner rather than later? Why not go through that now? To tick that off the bucket list of shit that's going to be something that's going to occur because it's destined to occur in everybody's reality. We always go through ups and downs, yeah? Because the people that are in relationships for 20 years now, and suddenly I've had enough 20 years later, you're 20 years deep in programming. Sorry, but you are. You're 20 years deep in a psyop, in a classical condition, in a program of how to love and how to give. And it's going to take you probably 20 years to undo all of that. Yeah? And for a long window of time, you may be searching for someone else who's just like your ex. Because that's all you know, that's all you remember. And even when you're not searching for someone who's like your ex, you're searching for the opposite. You're searching for all the things that they're not. And there's still these energetic markers on your aura and you've got to work through that trauma. And I don't want to be negative here. I don't want to dig through it all with you. Because some of you guys will know if you've been the ones that have been in a relationship for years and years and you're trying to move from that. Some of you who have really done the inner work will bounce out of that and go straight into union with who you're destined to be with. Works differently for all of you guys. And I'm sharing my perspectives specifically because I just feel guided to. And I think it's important. And it's following on from the channeled messages and in line with the tarot that's about to come out. So let's deep dive. The first card out is the Death card. It's rewarding and timely, forgiving and peaceful and a sweet surrender because finally it's over. It's an absolute completion, a life cycle that has taken forever for some of you guys. Because all you've ever really wanted is that person. King of Cups. What a gorgeous energy. That's the emotional fulfillment. That's the sentiment. That's the other person. Reciprocally, is that even a word? Ready, open, receptive. A reciprocal vibration. Your energetic match. You haven't got to worry about receiving that anymore. It's here. And it's inside of you too. So when I speak about this, remember, like attracts like. Love attracts love. Divine attracts divine. So when you was wounded, you was attracting wounded. Yeah? And that's why the wise ones stopped attracting or took a break or pulled away. If you're not in a high vibration, and I bitch and moan all the time as a spiritual life coach, like, why choose to go into a relationship if you are wounded? When you start going onto a dating app and you're swiping because you're horny or you're swiping because you're needy and you're crying your eyes out, swiping through the app looking for love, guess what you're going to attract? Someone on the other side of the screen who is also crying their eyes out, swiping for love. And many people will find that incredibly attractive and alluring. They're depressive and longing for love. Me too, it's meant to be. No, that is toxicity. Work on you first. Work on you. Life's purpose is to find you. Because when you find you, you will see yourself in the other. And that's not only just your lover, that's everyone. That's one and the same. That's how you become a great leader, a positive person, a healer, a conduit of energy. That's how you become aligned to the truest source of all. And that's how you exude love for all people. That's how you truly become empathic. You find you. Anyone I meet on this planet, anyone I engage with, I can go to deep depths with in conversation or personally because I know me. So I can see me in the other, for we are one and the same. And I see you're unique. I'm not trying to imprint on you or take away from your reality or say that me and you are just alike, because we're not. But I still know how to have a conversation with you or understand the layers of which we do or don't resonate, because I know me. And other people claim to be able to do that when they don't know themselves. They're just like me. They're just like, no, you're assuming, you're longing, you're projecting. Because until you do the inner work, you don't know shit. And it's hard to say that and own that narrative, but it's different when you see auras and energy and you're clairvoyant and you can just look at someone and know. When you see someone, there's so many of us that are gifted. We see auras, we see chakras in chakra alignment in a person. We can smell their health. Yeah? Some clairvoyants are amazing. They're gifted with smell. Like some of my favourite clairvoyance and the experiences I've had is those off-the-cuff gifts. You can just sense or touch and feel something or smell something. I always refer to the clear senses and how powerful they are on just picking up on what's going on with the other. Many of us have that ability. And we use it and we wield it wisely. And that is a strong, independent journey. We have to go on to master that, to attract the right vibration. While others just pretend to do these things and read The Secret one time and read the Louise Hay book one time and think they're masters of the craft. It takes inner work, dedication, and stripping away of ego, stripping away of ignorance, falling on your face, apologizing a million times. Yeah? Forgiving yourself, forgiving your others, getting up and going at it again, and never assuming that you're above the other, but knowing that you are the Most High at the same time, one and the same. Hard to find the balance between the left and right and toe the line between that yin and yang without becoming overly obnoxious and still being true inside of self. If you don't know you, if you have hate in your heart, if you carry hatred, jealousy, negative, resentful energy, and you despise others for anything whatsoever in life, traumas and triggers that you still have, that presents outwardly. And that's a blockage on your journey in relation to spirituality. A lot of people are muggles. They'll live their life every single day with no awareness of any of these things, and they'll think they're enlightened, think they're doing this, think they're doing that, and move forward and be fine with it. But those that are really, really conscious, you'll see the shift. You'll feel the shift when you are truly in your power versus not. And that doesn't mean we stay in our power. I'm in my power today. Today I let my spirit guides come through. I done those channeled messages. I let go of the need to control my content and just go with the flow and do what I was guided to do by the divine. I haven't had passed on loved ones really come in and me sit with them, or me do a mediumship session, or me really go into my gifts in a really long time. Because I've been doing a lot of corporate stuff. I have only just come back to tarot recently. And it's been incredibly rewarding for me over the last few weeks coming back to tarot and now having my spirit team come up and show up to me again clairvoyantly. And it reminds me of who I am and what I should be doing and what I've been doing. But it lets me know I've also channeled down and taken a different approach for most of the year because I needed time. I needed to heal. I didn't want to open up this portal and this pathway and all of these gifts because there was a lot I was going through. Negative energy, psychic attack. We spoke about the feminine on the other side in the channeled message, really going through it, really under attack by others, really hated, really burnt, really going through that phoenix rising from the ashes. But before she could rise, she was burnt again and burnt again and burnt again. The witch getting burnt comes to my mind in that conversation. Yeah. And that's the death card here as well. The witch is not getting burnt anymore. The witch is not getting put through tests where she gets tied to the chair and dunked in the water. The stupid witchcraft tests of the Salem days and the Salem witch trials. Many of us light workers, especially the feminine, the more feminine principle, the more light, emotional, empathic vibration has been abused time and time again during this ascension cycle, put through different tests. And some of us, that has been empathic tests and people testing our gifts and abilities. We've come out of tarot readers, clairvoyant, empaths, light workers. We have these different gifts. People have used it against us, weaponized our gifts and abilities, tried to prevent our light from working. I've got content out on the other channel, such as protection spells, mirror magic, and psychic, stopping psychic attack, because of all of these things. The levels of what I've had to go through to even come back to this platform. The toxicity I've had to strip off my aura over the last year alone to be able to present today, while still building a massive corporation on the back end. The wars that we fight internally are really thick sometimes. Psychological warfare, spiritual warfare, and so many people will play it down like these aren't real things and that you're imagining it. But there are really, really sick motherfuckers out there, gaslighting, narcissistic, evil predators who will prey on you if you are too light and loving. It turns most of us dark, turns many people insane. I can't believe I'm going here with you guys today and this content is coming out the way that this is. But one of my passed on loved ones, who is my great nan on my dad's side, she went through some really, really awful stuff being a gifted clairvoyant and a tarot reader. There's a lot I didn't know about her because she passed away before I ever met her. She passed away while my nan was really young. And my nan then had to be raised by my great nan's sister. So my great aunt raised my nan whilst my nan was really young still. And I went to a clairvoyant medium knowing not too much about my nan, but she came through and shared some really insightful information about her in line with visions that I had that week, and some deeper shares because there was a lot going on that side of the family and I was learning more about that side of the family, and it was confirmation for what I needed to know about the other side and my gifts and the relationship I was building with my nan from the other side. So this week, that same nan has been showing up. She's been present during the transmissions I've made for you, the channeled messages. She's been one of the key guides, so send her some love. Put some roses in the comment section across my content for this for my great Nan Rose, who is powering us forward at this time, sharing her light, because she is the one who is really channeling this awesomeness for you guys. And she shared with me, just so you guys know, because you've got deeper stories like this about why you're here and about who you're connecting with. I'm connecting with you guys, most of you guys today, and I've been able to do those channeled messages because your loved ones are up there. And my great Nan sees them. She's called Rose. That's why I said put roses in the comments. Rose is connected to the others. And she sees and she knows and she's sharing. And she's so excited about it. And she feels purposeful to be able to do this, and she's overjoyed that I'm back doing this again, and she knows how important this is for our lineage, and she's really, really excited to open up this portal and build a healthy relationship with me through this mediumship. And she's overjoyed, really, really overjoyed, and even more so because the thing that the medium shared with me, which is a big part of my destiny and mission in this lifetime, before I even knew this, is that my great Nan Rose, who my Nan didn't even really get to know, she was for a window of time locked away in a sane asylum. And they were saying that she was mentally unwell because she was a witch, a wild witch. And she shares with me quite frequently her experiences of, I guess, not only how she passed, but the trials and tribulations she had in her short life whilst here on earth because of being a witch and being really outrightly gifted and knowing way more than she should. And she is honoured that I get to live out our lineage's truth and bring our gifts to the forefront and not shy away from it and break the curse of what is mental health and what is gift and clairvoyance, and to be a real psychic medium who can take the torch that she couldn't bear, that was stripped from her. And my nan was gifted too. She used to drink a lot of tea and do a lot of tasseography, which is tea leaf, seeing the prophecy in the tea. And it's just a beautiful thing that if you go, like, I don't want to go too much into me, but there's a story here for you guys. There's something about your ancestry and what you're doing and what you've been doing and why you're doing it now. And that's in line with union with your partner too. I am developing a massive school, a massive community, a massive reform towards mental health, psychological well-being, and spiritual, mental, and emotional health, basically. Because I know I exist, and I know I'm not mentally ill. And a lot of people don't have that privilege. A lot of people who are spiritual and gifted and clairvoyant and see the other side and connect with the other side, they're burdened by it. Some of us get paid to do it. Some of us get paid to use our gifts. Some of us go on stage and do mediumship events. It's beautiful. But that's a small collective. And that collective have gone through hell to get to that point where they can be recognised and loved and paid for their skills. Others are children that are burdened, that are seeing things that shouldn't be there, that are going to therapy every week to deal with their visions and the voices that they're hearing, when really it's the other side. Ever since I started to really be more conscious of my gifts and abilities that I used to numb all the time with marijuana, I realised, wow, I'm going to have to learn how to use this. I'm going to have to learn how to explain what this is scientifically. I'm going to have to bring this spiritual consciousness into the scientific realm and validate it. I have to reform this field of research. I have to. It's my purpose in life. I feel it. There's no way around it. When you identify things as a researcher, but also as a headstrong leader, when you find your destiny, when you find purpose, when you see the answers, you can't ignore it. And for as long as I can remember, I've just had this mission. I'm not going to put it down. We're going to have to validate this. I'm going to have to find a way to get this moved into the scientific arena, because I can't bear the thought of the future generations and these younger children going through what I've been through. It's too painful. I don't want anyone else to go through what I've been through spiritually. I want people to know how their gifts work, and I want them to feel safe to use it. I want them to be protected. We've been through the witch trials. We're not going back that way. We need to evolve. We need to heal. We need to validate these things. Yeah, we've got a whole manual called the DSM-5, the Diagnostics Statistical Manual for Mental Disorder. It's like the Bible of how humans operate, published and created by man many, many moons ago, that doesn't account for many New Age ways of functioning. So if you don't fit into these conformist boxes that the white man made many moons ago, in times of slavery and as a form of manipulation and control, then you don't fit those categories and you become an outcast, you become factionless. Feel free to go and watch the movie Diversion and the spin-off movies from that, Insurgent and Alien Urgent. Very important and insightful. The world is changing in major ways. Technology is forcing us to evolve. Science is cutting edge across every single discipline at this time because of AI and AGI. So it comes down to us to be wise, purposeful, and be in mission. And I'm talking to a collective that are coming into mission with their destined other after many years of feeling incredibly alone. Back of the mind, the star. You're healing now. I want all of you guys to call on your passed on loved ones and anyone you know you have on the other side. I have a lot of spirit on the other side. And boy, do I need them. Boy, do I need them. In 2020, during the COVID window of time, lost 3 family members that I was really close to at the time, that grew up with, or was close to at the time, and they're all up there. I've got an army in the spirit realm that love me to death and that fight for me and bat for me every single day. Who have you got? Make sure you know they're there. Make sure you know they're listening. Make sure you know they are your ride or die, and you'll be safe. Because when it really comes down to it, you can channel and tap into the love you have up there, and they will guide you through anything if you let them. Like I had to listen to Rose today, and Rose was just on me for 4 hours, and I was just like, I just want to chill. I've had a really intense morning, and I had a really intense yesterday. I was meant to chill today. Rose said, I don't care what you were meant to do. Get the fuck up and do what I say. That's my lineage. But it matters, and it's healing, and she's come through and created that beautiful content with me. She really wanted that to come out. She's saying, come on, start transmuting. And the content on the channel over here and what's going to be coming out is really going to be in line with what she wants me to transmute, because she's sending me so much information from up there. And there's a lot of other energies that do want to come through and speak as well. I'm wondering, do I open up and let some of your passed on loved ones come through? I've done that on the channel in the past in a few different ways, but I kind of see a lot of people waiting in the wings saying, are we really going to take this channel up to that level of bringing in the passed on loved ones? Because there's a few people here that do want to come in and say stuff, so we're going to work on a way to bring them through as well. But me and Rose are slowly just working together now to make sure we can open up these portals and dimensions in healthy ways for all of you guys and protect everyone, but also protect ourselves first and foremost. Be a loving provider of light source and a giver with equal give and take in healthy ways, right? Because I just done a massive piece for Leo talking about not being the provider, so I'll put a disclaimer there. Very complex conversation, but let's keep going, because I can go on a tangent. Hit like and subscribe if you've made it this far, because I do flip around in conversation, but it is healing and just the way I work. 4 of Pentacles in the front of the mind. You've been holding on for a really long time to this idea, this dream, this vision, this mind frame. Some of you guys, when I talk about this connection, is spirit. Yeah? If you haven't come into union with spirit yet, that's got to happen first, okay? You've got to fall in love with spirit. You've got to fall in love with oneness. You've got to fall in love with your higher self. There's this layering to this. It's different for all of you guys because you have different beliefs. So I'm getting different terminologies and ways of saying stuff. But there's this coming together that's really quite unique, and it starts with spirit first. So although I'm talking about that union, you can see we've gone everywhere in conversation today, but it's more about your spirit meeting your spirit. The spirit's up there. Some of you, who you're coming into union with, is someone who is you've already signed a soul contract with, who's going to be your spirit guide for the next leg of the race. Yeah? Your best friend, your brother, your boyfriend who has passed on. Yeah? Your best friend, brother, boyfriend. So someone could have lost a boyfriend, a brother, and a best friend. All in a 6-month window, or all in a car crash is what I get. Some of you guys, it could be any of these three, but I'm getting one woman who has lost all of these three people in a car accident is what I get as well. Hit like if that's confirmation for you. Let's keep going. 5 of Pentacles. Okay, so I'm getting images in my head as well about someone being locked out of a car. Couldn't get into the car in time. Maybe the car set alight or was on fire, or you was meant to go out with them in the car that day and you didn't go. Yeah, I'm sorry for your loss, whoever I'm connecting with. Those 3 individuals are your light source every day you live and breathe now. Whoever I'm connecting with, whoever you've lost on the other side, they are your light source now. They are your provider now. So if you lack faith in God, you're unsure, weak or weary in any area of your life, your light source is someone you know. It should be easier for you to connect to the other side, easier to restore your heavier vibration, easier to recover from dark night of the soul or low struggles, because although that entity's not here and that is painful, they are up there. They are with you in spirit. They're closer than they could have been when they were alive. When I lost my nan, she lived a decent way away from me, so I had to get a train, and it was an effort to go and see her. And I'm a bit younger, and we're all a bit lazy, and we're like, oh, I can't be asked to go and travel to see her on the train. So what she done for me when she passed was she was with me every day, and she kept saying to me, look how lucky you are, because I know you had to get on the train for an hour or so to come and see me all the time when you came up in between your studying, and look now. I don't want you to be sad, and I don't want you to grieve me like that, because I'm with you every day. Every day you wake up and I'm here and you get to see me, you're lucky. And one of the biggest privileges I also had is when my nan was in the hospital in her last days before she died. I think this was just before she passed, the last time I saw her. And I knew she was going. We all knew she was going. And she knew what I did for a living. She knew I was a medium. She loved what I did. She was like intrigued by it. But she didn't really, makes me emotional to go back there. She didn't really ask me too many questions about how the other side worked. But that day, and she was really weak and frail, and I could see she was tired and weary, and everyone else had left us, and it was just me and her in the hospital room, and we was alone. And she just said, what happens? She really started to be so inquisitive and really started to ask me all the questions. What happens? Like, will you see me? Will I see you? Will Mick be there? Which is her husband. And I just broke it down to her the best I could, and I told her how it works and how spirit come through to me and what they're like, and how they show up. And it was so rewarding, because it was the first time I ever really got to explain how spirit works and how they come through, and let her know that Mick would definitely be there for her. And she was just like, are you sure? Like, are you sure I'm going to be okay there? Like, you sure? Like, are you sure that this is how it works over there? And it was just a really rewarding time to reassure her, yeah, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. And it's going to be okay. And I like to think that she passed over really, really peacefully with that inner knowing that she was going to be safe and that life exists beyond this realm. And it's been rewarding to heal knowing that, and see her come to me after the fact and kind of let me know, I'm here. We made it. Aren't we lucky? Aren't you lucky to see, you know? And I want you guys to carry that same kind of awareness. The Empress coming out next. The beginning of the end is here for you now. This is the beginning of the end. This is the most humongous moment in your life, potentially ever, because it is officially the beginning of the end. And we go through a lot of different cycles in life, and we often loop back round. I talk a lot about causal loops. But in this instance, you won't be coming back here ever again to this old way of being, this old way of existing, this old thought pattern. You're changing forever. This unification, this union, this shift in you is the new you, but it's just the beginning of the end. So we've still got a while to go. We've still got a walk to take. You've let go of the burdens. You've let go of the trauma. You've let go of the darkness. But we're still walking towards the light now. We're at the end of the tunnel. But we're not quite out of it, okay? But there's no harm here. And there's value in shadow. Remember these days. Remember these moments. Remember the struggle. Remember the pain. Because it's going to keep you wise and purposeful. And what God always reminds me of is we had to put you through this so you never forgot. Because if we only gave you a little bit of struggle and a little bit of trauma, when you really made it, you wouldn't care enough to do anything about it. It wouldn't have been so deeply installed in you for you to nurture and nourish it when you were living more of a luxurious, prosperous life. You wouldn't value it. You wouldn't care to help. So many people in really well-off positions, they don't care to help. They don't care enough because they didn't go through it. They never really experienced anything. It's those that really experience the struggle, the pain, the trauma, and go through something real that builds grit, wisdom, integrity, purpose, and those people live in mission. Those people exude light source every single day. That's you. So remember that. There's no way you can forget it. It's part of your DNA now, yeah? But value the fact that you're here on this planet in this lifetime with more integrity, more heart, more purpose. And that will be seen. Your conviction will be seen. Your integrity will be seen. Your heart will be seen. There will be no delusion or confusion or no hate to that degree of what you've been through, because who you are shines and will continue to shine through. Justice. Everything you went through has made you who you are. And anyone who isn't in your life, isn't vibrating at the right frequency with you, isn't someone you're comfortable to be around, isn't something you want in your life, commit to that. Commit to that on the way out. No one else is coming that isn't meant to be coming, okay? This is the beginning of the end. So we're leaving a lot of there's no loose ends here, is the point. We're closing out these cycles because some of these toxic relationships and unhealthy cycles, circles, communities, social groups could not even cut it to the high vibrational relationships and connections you're moving into. The guides that you're picking up, the ascended masters that are coming in to support you, the lover, the husband, the wife, the new relationship, the kids. Some of you guys potentially about to give birth, pregnant, or about to get pregnant. Only specific energies can be around this new beginning. And some of you, this is an angelic child. Some of you guys, the stuff I've shared with you today, I'm now being told, is because you're having a magical baby. A gifted child. A spiritual child who has gifts. Like clairvoyance. and one of the 9 clear senses. Really important. You will never have to juggle your self-worth again. Juggle whether or not you're loved again. Juggle whether or not this person wants you for the right reasons. Juggle romance, question whether or not you're with the right person. Get into toxic affairs or third-party relationships. Sleep around. Throw money at people. Balance out your money for people to stay with you. Some people are paying people to be with them. Some people are giving away gifts all the time and over-giving, cooking meals, over-exerting yourself, forcing connections, losing sleep at night for all of these relationships that have been nothing but toxic. 9 of Swords are now on the Death card. Clarifies this conversation about an end to worry. With the King of Cups now clarified by the Chariot, a real simple awareness that we are moving on with absolute heart, absolute clarity in the mind, gorgeous, gorgeous loving vibration that is stable and balanced. The sun and the moon, the star is now covered by the moon, the star and the moon. Oh my gosh, I'm getting that song from Ennis. It's called Sun and Moon. Anees. I'll put it in the description. Song by Ennis. It's one of my favourite songs. You are my sun and moon. I don't know the rest of the words other than that, unless I hear it. But it's a really gorgeous song. I love it so much. I went through a phase where I just couldn't stop singing it all the time. So go and check that song out. It resonates in some way. And it really talks about a loving connection in it. But you're healing that longing energy for something. If this is a passed on loved one as well, you could have really grieved them and been crying your eyes out, longing for that connection when they're with you and they want to come through and work with you spiritually. They want to make sure all your manifestations come in. Yeah, they want to heal you with you. Yeah, some of you could be going to psychic mediums, watching a lot of tarot online, trying to get answers from this person, and this person only wants to speak to you because they know that they can activate you and they know that they could work better with you than any other medium. Yeah, you are the medium they want to connect with, whilst you're going to mediums to try and see if they can come through, and the medium can't really do it, but you can, because you hear them all the time. You know them. You'll have a better connection with them. You can connect to the other side is the point. On top of the 4 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, you've been holding on a really, really long time. It's given me 4 to 7 years as well with those numbers as well. Anywhere from 4 to 7 years you've been cycling through this. Last 9 years as well, potentially, with the 5 of Pentacles now covered by the 9 of Wands. We're looking at, so we've got 4 to 7, yeah? Really specific energy, holding on for 4 to 7 years. But the past cycle of the 5 to 9 years is also another time frame of real toxicity and struggle. That's when you started to shut down and turn off. When whatever happened 9 years ago, nearly 10 years ago now, something happened. You really shut down, started to push people out and away, hold on to what you valued most, and worked on that for 4 to 7 years. But that all stemmed from some bullshit that happened 9, 10 years ago. And the struggle that you went through surrounding a group of 5 people, or over a 5-year window of real toxicity, real burden, real struggle, really, really trying to work your way through all this bullshit, really guarding yourself. But all that time you held on to what was really most valuable. Justice, covered by the sun. Of course it is, because you are in the sun now. You are the sun. You are that light source. You are that joy. Yeah. Now we've got the sun, star and moon all out in line with each other. And then once again, 4 of Cups with the 2 of Wands. You still got to make sure that anyone in your circumference, anyone in your energy, anyone around you is in the right vibration. We can't have any moon energy around us, anyone living in the dark, anyone unauthentic, anyone unhealed, anyone chatting shit, anyone who doesn't know how to resolve their own karma, anyone who needs, anyone who takes, anyone who is imbalanced. There's no time. We've done the work, we've done the digging, we've done our hard graft. We need to be aligned to the higher vibrations that can move in flow state with us. Otherwise we spin our wheels. There's never going to be toxicity like the past, because we're coming out of that now. We're coming out of the worst cycle of our lives. But the truth of the matter is, we're smart and we're wise and we're not going back. And the only way we do that is by reminding ourselves of what isn't alignment, and what isn't acceptable. Set high standards and stick with them moving forward, so we never can even remotely feel ounce of this bullshit from the past that weighed on you like this, okay? Strength card coming out with a 4 of Wands. Commit to this. Commit to this life. Commit to this new way of being. It's not going to be hard because this is the authentic you. But if you've been wearing a mask for a really, really long time, for example, and then finally you get into a relationship where you don't have to wear a mask and you can be completely yourself, there will be windows of time where you might want to suddenly mask up just out of habit. Like, you remember we spoke about those psyops, and that's classical conditioning and breaking those habits, because there's going to be a bit of you that's going to be a little bit overwhelmed or taken back. And if you've been deficient in love and you've been in toxic relationships where no one's really given to you, then there's going to be windows of time where when someone is given to you, you might shut down a little bit or be a little bit like taken aback when someone actually really meets you where you stand, or meets you with your love language, because you're so used to being in deficit that when someone pulls up and actually loves you, you're not in the energy of, I don't know how to receive that. That would be the wounded version of you've been working through, but you will be like, halt for a minute and go, whoa, like, wow, I'm really living in this truth. Yeah, this is what I manifested. This is what I've been working hard for. I am attracting and have attracted the right vibration. And some of you, that's the way that Spirit's going to speak to you in the future, and how you're going to hear God and get the signs and synchronicities you need to build the life you want, the business you want. Often on this channel and on past channels and old platforms that I've had, I frequently speak about the God voice. And different times in my life where I've heard God speak to me, or a passed on loved one just come to me and tell me something. And then me go and do that thing, listen to them, and then it come true. Like, me follow the directions from that inner voice that tell me impossible things are going to happen. And trust in the vision that you get in your mind. Listening to the voice that you have in your head. And it being proven. This isn't confirmation bias. God told me to go to this place at this time. And this will happen. I did it and it happened. God told me about, or my granddad came to me and told me about a very specific event that had occurred, and he asked me to do this about it. I did it and got confirmation of what had happened and asked details about it. He told me information, and then I went and got confirmation immediately. Did this happen? I've just been told this. Is this correct? Yes. How would I know that? My granddad just told me that. Yeah? Incidents like that. I've been in an incident where I've been on the bus and I was having a really shit day, similar to the energy I was in, where my whole energy gets sucked. It feels like you're in a tube, like you're being beamed up. And imagine being stuck in a beam me up Scotty vibration, and you're not getting, you're just in the beam. You're in a Futurama tube that loops all around town, but you're not looping, you're just stuck in the tube. It's like being stuck in an elevator. That's how I was for the last 4 hours, and I know what it means, but I was being really lazy because I haven't opened up to Spirit in ages, and I'm literally stuck in the spiritual tube and elevator, and I'm like, oh, fine, I'll deal with it. And that happened to me one time, and this is when you're out in the real world. This is unification in 7D. Out in the real world, I'm late, I'm having a really shit day, I don't want to go to uni, I've already missed half of the lecture based on the time that I'm running on. I've got on the bus, started to go there, and as I've nearly got to the bus stop I need to get off at to get the train, Spirit said, stay on. And I'm like, what? Stay on, we've got places to go. And cheeky Spirit that day as well, because they know when I'm not in the mood, they're like, we've got, you don't have to go uni, you knew you weren't going to make it anyway, we just had to get you this far down the line, stay on, we've got places to go. And I'm like, what? Just stay on. But I don't know where the bus goes after this, I don't know this area beyond this stop, and it's cold as well today, it's the winter. Just stay on, right? Fine, Spirit. So I've stayed on. Then, 20 minutes later, if that, we've come to a bus stop, the bus has stopped, and they're like, get off. And I'm like, no, I don't know where I am. Why am I going to get off here? I don't like this area. I don't want to be here. Goodness me, why am I going to get off here? Get off the bus. I'm like, I really don't want to get off. If you want me to get off the bus, you're going to have to give me another sign. Because make me believe you, please. I swear to God, in that exact moment I said, give me a sign, the bus went, lights off, engine off. The bus has the bus, double-decker London bus off. Everything on the bus off. I've gone, fuck. I'm still sitting there because it's freezing outside. And I don't want to be walking around these streets. I don't really know where I am. So I'm being ignorant again. But Spirit's not taking the piss. And they will talk to you how you talk. So when I swear and I speak the way I do, it's because you have an honest, authentic relationship with the other side and they know your communication style. So they're going to meet you where you stand, right? If someone from the other side speaks another language, they're going to be able to communicate with you and speak your language because you're going to need to communicate. They're not going to speak to you in Spanish if you're not fluent in it, are they? Even if they are Spanish and that's their full language, on the other side there is no limitation, right? So the bus has stopped and I'm like, seriously. I'm shaking in my boots like, this is not a joke. Like, I can't believe this is crazy. Like, and it wasn't like a passed on loved one. It was like God. Like, when God or higher level ascended masters speak to you, it's different. Sometimes you get ascended masters. Sometimes you get archangels. You get different people speaking to you at different time. It wasn't quite God, but it was an ascended master vibration. It was very strong. So I'm like, my goodness, no way. That's a fluke. Like, I'm testing it now. That's a fluke. Suddenly, it's the engine's gone up again, but the lights are still off on the bus, right? And now there's a disabled ramp trying to come out. There's a person who's disabled who is trying to get on the bus, and the ramp won't come out. And now the driver's gone, I'm sorry guys, the disabled ramp won't come out. We may be here for a while. I don't know if the person was already on the bus then or getting off, but they needed to get the disabled ramp out. And I'm sitting there for another 2 to 3 minutes like, what should I do? I should have just got up and listened, but we're ignorant and we don't believe, right? And we have to test spirit have to test us. And you can just hear the ramp going, and it's going beep, beep, beep. They're trying to get this ramp out. And obviously the person needs to get on the bus. And it's like the ramp's stuck, and then I think eventually the lights come back on and then things start to work. But then I get up anyway and say, right, I'm going to get off. And then following that journey, I get off and I say, you best tell me exact. I'm rude as well. And it's good to be rude and it's good to be vigilant with spirit on the other side because you don't know who you're dealing with sometimes. If you're inexperienced, you can have other energies around you that are toxic and not good. And if there's an energy that comes through and asks you to pass a message to someone else, if you're not comfortable to do it, don't do it. I've been in situations where I've been on a date and had spirit come through and asked me to pass on messages to someone they love, and I shouldn't have done it because I was inexperienced, and you don't know what relationship that person has with that person on earth, and no one on spirit can ever dictate or tell you what to do or how to use your gifts. So you can tell them to fuck off and shut up and leave you the fuck alone because it's your energy and your vibration, and you are not bound to any spirit on the other side. No spirit on the other side is ever going to be above you and your reality or above anyone else's mental health and emotional well-being and life on earth, and everyone has free will. So either way, I've got off the bus and I've said, you best tell me exactly what to do now because it is cold out here and this is just not on. And they're like, right, take a left. Okay, what next? Go straight and then take the first left again. Okay, what next? Walk all the way down to that end of the road. And then where am I going to go? Just do, as we say, go to the end of the road. And you see that lady right there in front of you? Yeah. She's going to walk through a little gap. Follow her through that gap. Okay, fine. Walk down the street. Just follow. It doesn't look like there's a little gap there, but it doesn't look like it's anything. But I just follow that lady through that little gap. The little gap opens up into a massive kind of like side pathway that leads into a massive park. Right, and then I actually recognised the park. I've been to that park before for work without knowing it. So they were like, yeah, follow the pathway all around the park, come out of that exit there, walk up that road there, take another right there, left there, walk down this street. They were like, okay, stop here. I ended up at a really important place for business, which was it was like a social directory. A massive place for people like me building the kind of business that I was building with no money and no awareness of how to get funding and no awareness of how to really upscale my business. This was a massive directory in the UK, really small office. Like some of the most amazing companies are really, really small. And I walked in, I said, what do you do here? And they were like, oh, we're a massive directory for funding. We run all these, or we provide insight to all of these different things, and we provide massive indexes and indices on different projects and investors and sourcing and funding. And it was really, really important for me. It was the really early stages of what I was doing. I was still at uni, but it was incredible. I spent the whole day there. They were like, you can just come in here any time that you want to, sit here and go through these indexes and start assessing what the need and demand of people want, because this is what everyone's seeking. So we have a massive, it's like a massive index of what is needed right now and what people are willing to pay for, what needs to be funded. And it was varying from maybe like 30k, maybe up to 100k of what, or maybe less than that, but what was needed in the community, what people's missions were, what people were really doing. It was just so social justice. It was actually the social justice, I can't remember the other initial, but it was a massive social justice company in the UK, probably the most recognised one. And I didn't really get any funding from that in the end, and didn't go down that route. And I always say this because I have much bigger dreams and visions that take me beyond the paradigm of what currently exists. And me looking into something like that would have limited me to a very small net and small community impact. And I wanted so much more in regards to supporting the whole globe and out beyond the Kármán line, which evolved over time. But I'm oversharing here with you guys. I hope that this finds you well still, and you hit like and subscribe, and you do share more in the comments about your unique journeys and where you're at, and that you find resonance in how important this story is for you and your own journey, because you're going to go on these journeys now, or you've been going through these journeys already, and you get called to places that you wouldn't believe you can go to. I didn't go uni that day, but I had an amazing day. Sat there with my headphones on, listening to music, and I wrote down, I've still got the list now, maybe about 20 different companies, because I couldn't take away the books. These kind of companies, you have to be a member, and it costs so much money to join and get the membership and get those. Then you have to pay for those kind of directories personally. Then you have to network with these people, and you need already to have a team, and you need to be established, and you need to have the experience, and people need to trust that you can actually achieve what set out in the mission. But for me to understand the format, the text, what the need and demand is, what kind of communities are out there, what everyone needs, how my company fits into what this is, and how I'm going to evolve over time, and where I fit in, what my purpose is. And I was lacking purpose in life at the time. I still had the business growing, but I was still struggling with expansion. I was still struggling to find, where am I going to make my company matter? How am I going to ground this? And in that moment, God showed me, this is where you belong. This kind of company, this kind of directory, look at the need and demand. Look at all of this. Look at how much you can do. Look, and it's all about social justice. Look at how much you are needed. Look at how much you believe in all of this, and look how much it's gonna manifest, or it's manifesting already. Look how much people are also manifesting this, is the point. Yeah? Sometimes you think you're so alone, and then you realize, wow, no, loads of people are manifesting this. Loads of people believe in this. So I'm just sitting there, sick of uni, bored, fed up, struggling to just keep going with the business and do the uni at the same time, personal issues all the fucking time. And finally, God's just gone, just take a minute to look at your worth and what your heart is telling you and what your mind is telling you and what you envision for your future, because it matters. All these people here in this directory, this whole company here, believe it matters too. And that was enough. And that spurred me on. And that unlocked so much more research and development for me and my corporation. I just spent years doing research and development ever since, making sure I had space to include all of these important aspects into what I'm building. And that led to more networking events. And that led to me going to, what did I even go to? Award nights and ceremonies and fancy events in these kind of places where I'm sitting there smoozing, dressing up in the middle of a London, doing networking in all these kind of spaces where we're having these kind of conversations. And it's just a beautiful journey that you go on sometimes, because you open up and listen, is the point. So I hope this found you well, guys. I really do. It has been a pleasure to go so deep with you guys today and really, really share this. I hope you understand how important this is as a divine invitation, and how we dove into what union really is, beyond just the masculine and feminine romantic aspect of life, but in all aspects of our relationship with our higher selves and the Most High, which is us in our highest vibration. I love you all to pieces. I am honoured to be able to be back. I feel like I'm back officially. And it's hard sometimes. We move forward and we put content out, or we keep working and we keep doing, even when we're not back. Because I've been on the platform, I've been here and there and doing other stuff, but it feels like I'm actually back here in the spirit realm doing this beautiful stuff. And in my mind, bear with me, so take this as a note to self, there's a little bit of me that's going, how am I going to manage this? I've got a whole load of other stuff to do that doesn't involve spirituality. I didn't even plan to come back to this platform and dive into content creating, and this is taking up a lot of time out of my schedule. There's 100 other things that I feel like I should be doing that's more corporate and more aligned with the company and the business, which I feel like I should be focused on. So I have no idea how we're going to evolve over here, and I'm being told that this is the focus now for a lengthy window of time, maybe forever in different degrees. But how I'm going to manage everything else I've got going on in my life, if I'm going to prioritise this for a while, is scary. So we're taking risks. We're all taking risks, and we can't look back. We've just done the reading. If you're scared just like I am, hit the like. If you're fearful about this ending a new beginning, trust. Because I've got a lot of corporate stuff going on, and it feels nice sometimes just to act corporate, because I feel like I'm more productive, and I feel like I'm doing the right thing, and I feel like I'm more purposeful, and my career is more, I don't know what the word is, feels more stronger. Yeah, it just feels more materialistic. It just feels more grounded than letting spirit just guide me through content creation, But then I've got to have respect for the left and the right, and my yin and yang, and the light and the dark, and my gifts, and the spirituality and the science. Yeah, the spirituality and the corporate. Life needs both. I am synergizing two very aspects of who I am and what I believe in, and that is the true divine union that we're all going through. Feel free to share in the comments what you're unifying. I would love to know, because I'm also working on a lot of different projects related to science, and a lot of stuff I want to bring out in regards to publications and infographics. I have no idea how I'm going to find the time to get all of this stuff out. I really don't. God always works and things magically happen. I've got some counting stuff that also needs to happen. I don't know where that's all going to fit in, but I'm trusting that I'm going to find time to manage all of these gifts and aspects in my life. Check out hermitology.me to see what I do and believe in. But share, because some of us are diving into really niche disciplines. If you are into technology and into sailing, if you are a fishmonger and a poet, if you are a content creator and a recluse, if you are a firefighter and a surgeon, I mean, we're talking about weird things that supposedly shouldn't go with each other. If you're a vegan that owns a butcher shop, do you get what I mean? Like, we're all unique. We all have alternative concepts in our mind. Every single one of us on this planet was born unique. We have a unique identity. That means we have unique gifts, unique inventions, unique creations, and unique ideas. Most of the time we don't go forward with them because they're so unique, it's so scary, it's so overwhelming, and they're so different to what the world has seen, we don't even know where to begin to formulate, manifest, and create these things. And it feels absolutely impossible. That's why it requires us to believe in the impossible. I'm connecting with a collective who have believed in the impossible for so long that it's impossible not to come true. Never give up, never stop believing, and go for that unique thing, because that unique thing is you. Love and light collective. I'll be back soon with more.